Well, it was revealed this week that Jason and Kylie are getting back together for the conclusion of the popular Aussie soap Neighbours. But this encounter between Brighton and Manchester United is more like an episode of Home and Away. There's been a bit of drama at Manchester United this week when one of those who's been written out of their future was saddened that he didn't get a satisfactory ending. But at Brighton, they're carving out their best storylines of the Premier League era. Never have they finished a season in the top flight's top half, and there are other milestones to meet too. The one plot twist is that they haven't won a home game in the league in 2022. Away, they've been walking on air. Manchester United were unstoppable away last campaign, but they have lost their last 4 on their travels recently, and let's be honest, after years of being stars of the show in the 21-22 series of the Premier League, they've just been extras. One man who has still found the spotlight is Ronaldo. 24 goals in a middling team, and no matter where they are, he's their guarding star. We've already brought you the conclusion to the Championship. Later on we'll be at Spurs. Tomorrow round the grounds. Monday, Laura is back on breakfast to wrap up the weekend. You'll get everything if you download our app. You can hold it in your arms. You won't want to let it go. You might even stay on it forever. And this is the programme that brings you closer to the football each day. It's Talk Sports Game Day. And we're underway after the players take the knee to ask for racial equality and social justice, with the red shirts of Manchester United starting us off, shooting towards the goal away to our left, and the blue and white stripes of Brighton attacking the goal to our right. Scott Minto is with me this afternoon, and Scott, Brighton would love to sign off the season with a couple of big results and start shaking off this home hoodoo.
No, you're right, Sam, but again, you know, there is a, I say small minority, but there are enough people saying they're not happy with what's happening with the home form. They're not scoring enough goals recently. Look, I've got to be realistic. I've got to say, look, this is as good as it gets for a Brighton side that just a few years ago were in the third tier of English football. So try and enjoy this. But look, you've got obviously the last game of the season against West Ham here, but what a scalp this would be if they were to turn around that poor home form and beat Manchester United.
Go through the two lineups for you just a second, but Cucurella is sprinting over halfway. He's about 15 or so steps inside opposition territory. It's helped on towards the left and collected now by McAllister, who moves into the box, blocked by Lindelof, and he stops it from going for a corner, and it's out for a throw into Brighton midway between the edge of the penalty area and the corner flag down on the left-hand side. 0-0 the score. We've played 1 minute and 15 seconds live on Talk Sport. Game day finishing at the Amex Stadium, where the sun is trying to come out on the south coast after what's been a grotty day down here. Ball thrown into Welbeck, back to goal, left-hand side for Brighton. Back in field to Joel Veltman, who steps up right-footed, drives it into the box, comes through to Trossard, who couldn't quite turn, gets it back from Gross. He's in the area again, he flicks it towards Welbeck, who rises to get a header in, but it was too high for him, and he glances it well wide of the goal, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our right. The two teams then, Brighton with Sanchez in goal. It's a back three of Veltman, Duncan, Cucurella. Solly March is playing as the right wing back, Trossard as the left wing back, with Basuma and Caicedo in the centre, Gross and McAllister behind Welbeck in attack, and for Manchester United, De Gea is their goalkeeper, Dalot, Lindelof, Varane and Alex Telles, then McTominay and Matic, Elanga, Mata and Fernandes behind Ronaldo. And Scott, it's quite a surprise really to see players like Matic, Mata starting the game, bearing in mind that in 3 weeks time they'll be off to pastures new.
Yeah, listen, Sam, I think there'll be a lot of players off to pastures new. I think, you know, there's a lot of change that needs to happen at Manchester United. It's not been good enough. It wasn't that long ago, just mid to late February, they were 4th, and they were, 4 or 5 points clear of 5th as well, and 9 points in 9 games, just not good enough.
Here is March down the right for Brighton, who have started brightly. They get into a right wing position, the cross comes straight into the midriff of Alex Telles and bounces behind, and it's away for the first corner of the game, and it goes the way of the home team.
Yeah, they're starting positively, Brighton, and just a couple of minutes earlier as well, Veltman had a shot. It was just so poor, but it actually fell to Trossard, who come in off the left, and a better first touch, and he would have been in on goal. So it's been a very, I think exactly Graham Potter would have said, look, Manchester United are there for the taking, let's start on the front foot. They've done that.
Huge United contingent behind the goal away to our right that Brighton are attacking. They take a short corner, comes back to March into the penalty area. It's well worked. It goes to Trossard, whose low ball into the near post is tucked behind by Lindelof. And Darren Can is being berated by Fernandes, who says that there was an offside that should have been called there. It wasn't.
Really neat corner, actually, wasn't it?
It was well worked.
Players.
Andy Madley is the referee. Manchester United will be pleased to see him every time he's taken charge of one of their games. They have won. Here is Gross to take the corner though, on this near side. The second in quick succession for Brighton and Hove Albion. Raises his right hand into the air and then sends it long and deep towards the far post, and Dunk was underneath it, tussling with Varane. It comes out of the penalty area. There's a brief shout for handball, but it was half-hearted, and then it's worked all the way back to goalkeeper Robert Sanchez away to our left. Manchester United on their worst run away from home since March 1981. Scott Minto was 10. It was the time of Kids in America, This Old House, and Adamant, and his stand and deliver.
Were you 11?
I was 3.
Never.
Gross down the right side. I remember it well. Once bumped into Adam Ant at Hever Castle.
Did he have the white bit across the nose?
No, but he did look like a rock star. And a rock star's entourage as well at the time. Veltman throws it forward. Down the right it goes into McAllister. McAllister helps it on into the path of Pascal Gross, who's got right high up on the right-hand side. The ball goes out for a throw, and Veltman takes it quickly, plays it into Gross, but it's cut out by Tellez, and then Fernandes is fouled by Gross. It's a free kick in the left full-back position. Graham Potter was waxing lyrical about the talent of Cristiano Ronaldo in yesterday's press conference. 24 goals in 37 games. That's a man on top form. But Potter did say that he hopes he fluffs his lines today. He has been better at home than he has been away as Cristiano Ronaldo. But out of all of the problems they've got, he's certainly solved a few others.
He is, but I'm telling you what now, and Erik ten Hag comes in, that is the biggest one for him. Because I think his instincts are really to not have a player like Cristiano Ronaldo, to go really young, more... Yeah, he wants the controlled possession, but I think Cristiano Ronaldo has done so well this season. It's not about his reputation, but what he's done this season is justified for next season. But I'm telling you now, Ten Hag will be thinking, I'm not sure if a Ronaldo would normally be in my side at the age he's at, the type of football I want to be playing. So that's the first big decision he's going to be making.
Perry Groves said something similar at lunchtime on Talk Sport, and we had a big package and discussion about that when Dan Windle was building up to the final day of the Championship today. And what a final day it was, and what a final day it was in League 2 as well. Bristol Rovers scoring 7 at home against Scunthorpe to get promoted on goals scored. Forest Green winning the title in the Championship earlier on. Luton beat Reading to finish 6th. Millwall and Borough missed out on the playoffs. Here's Solly March for Brighton, who picked the ball up, run down the right. March delivers across into the box, which is flicked away by Dallow from the edge of the 6-yard area. It's been all Brighton so far in the opening 6.5 minutes on TalkSport, but it's goalless. The ball is loose on the edge of the penalty area. It bounces in front of Matu, hooks it to the halfway line. It's headed back with interest by Dunk, and then it runs into the midway point of the United half, and Matic shows good composure, brushes Basuma off the ball. He's gone down, and the game is stopped by Andy Madley, claiming a head injury, and as a result of that stoppage, it will be an uncontested drop ball deep in Manchester United territory. Elsewhere, earlier today in the Premier League, Watford were relegated. Saints lost again. Conor Coady scored a 97th minute goal to equalise at Chelsea, who were 2 up. Todd Bowley, who is going to take over the club from Roman Abramovich, was there, sitting there alongside Bruce Buck, watching on. What were your thoughts on it today? Chelsea throwing away a 2-goal lead. It's been a poor end to the season.
It really has, and I said to you that I'm slightly concerned. I'm not much of a doom-monger in terms of, look, they're playing Liverpool, they're going to lose whatever, because I think the pressure's all on Liverpool. But what you do want to do is have a little bit of form going into the final, and they just haven't done that. Yes, changes were made, but not overly confident, I have to say, for that final.
That final is live on TalkSport next Saturday afternoon. Make sure you join us for that. Veltman, halfway inside the Brighton half, turns it back to the goalkeeper, who's wearing steward yellow, Robert Sanchez. That's all it can be described as. It's bright and luminous as he kicks clear over the halfway line towards the left. A poor header by Dallow. It's cut forward by McAllister, and then played out to the left, and Trossard doesn't quite get hold of it, and Manchester United have it back again, although they have been pretty scrappy in the opening 8.5 minutes of the game, Manchester United. They haven't really settled yet.
I tell you what, Sam, they haven't really got into Brighton's half. I'm sure territory-wise, you'd be talking about 80% in United's half. So they just need to get hold of the ball. Matic has done that a couple of times, but Brighton, to be fair, they've not just been good with the ball, they've been good without it, not giving any United players time on the ball.
Bruno Fernandes tucks it forward onto Matip, who's on the edge of the D as they get into Brighton territory for the first time. Wide on the left is Tellez, across into the box, headed into the air by Caicedo, then it drops in front of Basuma, who's fouled by McTominay, and a free kick is given just in front of the D, away to our left-hand side. That sun really has come out now, and Faye Carruthers was talking about it. She said she expected sunshine on the south coast. I must admit, we hadn't seen any until that point. Maybe it was her little ray of sunshine from earlier after enjoying Luton getting into the playoffs.
Well, I only live an hour away, and when I actually left the house, it was sunshine where I was, so I thought it'd be t-shirt and jacket, and then suddenly I got here, it started raining. You talk about that 3-mile walk, you on a scooter.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. I've got an injury.
I think you're 17, Sam.
I'd love to be 17. Unfortunately, I'm not. I picked up a little bit of a problem in the foot. That's why I had to get one of the e-scooters. I thought I looked quite cool on it, actually.
That's the problem. You think you look cool.
We're all laughing when I walked into the press room with it. Anyway. It's 0-0 between Brighton and Manchester United, and that's a poor football forward by Sanchez, and he gets a little bit lucky as he plays it short to Caicedo on the edge of the area. Brighton do eventually get the ball upfield, and Basuma, turning out of trouble, plays it square. Caicedo's got it again, midway point of his own half, pokes it forward into the centre circle, on towards McAllister, and then wider to Cucurella, who gallops up over the halfway line. It's taken on by Trossard in the left wing position as he attacks Diego Dalot, who tries to hold him off, and there's a bit of a brute force match between those two, which Dalot wins, and then he tries to escape, but Caicedo doesn't allow him to, and the ball goes out of play over on the far side. 10 minutes 19 seconds played. Brighton 0, Manchester United 0, live on Talk Sport with Sam Matterface and Scott Minto.
He's done well there, Darlow, hasn't he? Defended really well against Trossard, and then sort of beat the challenge from Basuma as well. I thought he had a really good game on Monday against Brentford. Put some really good balls in behind, but have to say, I do think right back is one of those positions that Ten Hag will be looking. Nowadays, the modern day fullback, it's so important, not just in terms of defending, but creating chances, making assists, and even scoring goals, like we see with Alonso and Reece James. Obviously with Manchester City, with the fullbacks, and of course Trent Alexander-Arnold and Ali Robertson as well. So I do think it's going to be interesting to see what he does with both fullbacks, but also maybe even a centre-back.
But it is fascinating, isn't it? I was doing the statistics actually on Reece James and Trent Alexander-Arnold ahead of the FA Cup final yesterday, and their output in terms of creating chances per 90 minutes and assists and goals, etc., is outstanding in comparison, and that's the sort of level that the Manchester United fullbacks just haven't ever really delivered.
No, they haven't. I mean, Luke Shaw had a good season last season, and obviously a very good Euros as well. This season he's really struggled, and of course there's injuries on top of that. Right back, well, I'm pretty sure that's definite position that someone will come in during the summer. So yeah, as I say, the fullback nowadays is just so important, and Manchester United haven't had any help at all in that area this season.
Brighton have been given a free kick. It's about 6 paces in front of the centre circle, just a shade to the right, and it will be Pascal Gross who clips it towards the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. He finds Dunk, who chests it down and volleys it into a dangerous zone. Away by Lindelof, it bounces in the box, and it's cleared right side by Matic, up to Elanga, who looks to escape, can't do so. Veltman looked as if he pinched the ball, but the referee said he did so illegally, and it goes out over on the far side. Brighton 0, Manchester United 0. We've played a little over 12 minutes on Talk Sport with Now, and don't forget, with a Now Sports Day membership you can stream all the Sky Sports action, including Brighton versus Manchester United, live right now for $11.98 without a contract. Search Now Sports. Here's Tellez, left full-back for Manchester United in the absence of Shaw, who's undergone surgery, which is why he's not been available for the back end of the season. It's given away cheaply by Ronaldo, which pleased the Brighton fans.
He's not getting involved in the game, is he? When we talk about a good game Monday, he was absolutely superb, but at the moment, whenever he has had the ball, there's been a Brighton defender very tight, and he must be slightly frustrated with how these first few minutes have gone.
Yeah, well, Graham Potter pointed out that his team would have to be aware of the movement of Cristiano Ronaldo, which he thought was clever and disrupting when these two met in February. Scored in that game up at Old Trafford, a game that Manchester United won. And he hasn't got involved in the game at all so far. March has just been flagged offside by Darren Cant, deep inside Manchester United territory, 0-0.
You think about the thing about Ronaldo as well is, I covered every single game for 4 years of Ronaldo at Real Madrid, and he was quite happy not to see the ball during the whole game. He became a 1-2 touch player in his prime, so I'm telling you now, he might not touch the ball for 89 minutes. If it's 0-0, he'll step up in the one chance, right position, he'll put it in the back of the net.
Which is why he is looking to score for the 5th game in a row for Manchester United. Ball clipped up towards him, he chests the ball down into the path of Fernandes. The two Portuguese conspire on this near side with flicks and tricks, and then a miscontrol by Ronaldo, which takes it out once again. Brighton are in good form, having won 3 of their last 5 Premier League games, so Manchester United knew what to expect coming down here. And that is as many as they had won in the previous 25, so there has been an uptick at the end of the season for Graham Potter's team. They did race into a 2-goal lead in their last home game against Southampton before throwing that away, drawing 2-2. And they have the ball now, over on the far side, played in by Welbeck towards Trossard, who gets to the edge of the area, produces a cross, looks for Welbeck again, Tellers with a poor header, it drops towards March, who chests it down, sets up Pascal Gross, who cracks it goalwards, hits a defender, comes back to Caicedo, whose effort goes into the corner from 20 yards out, past David De Gea, and Brighton take the lead. A stunning effort from Caicedo, from 20 yards out, smashing the ball low through the grass, into the near post past David De Gea. Brighton strike, but that doesn't always mean it will end in smiles in the sunshine, but they'll take it for now. It's Brighton 1, Manchester United 0.
Well, I'll tell you what, they had a chance just literally seconds before. No one was within 2 yards of the ball at all, and in the end it was the ball came back out to Caicedo. It was a wonderful strike from him. Poor header initially from Tellez. He should have been stronger as well. It was a shot at the edge of the box, it bounced back out, Caicedo takes the touch, really from 25 yards. Just looking at pictures here now with De Gea, he must have been unsighted. Yeah, it's come through the legs, I think, of Lindelof. And De Gea's not happy at all, but, again, just within the space of about 5 or 6 seconds, how can you give a player, 2 players, that amount of time on the ball right in front of goal to have the shot? Yes, unlucky to go through the legs of Lindelof, but that is really poor defending, not getting tight, stopping that shot.
First goal for Moises Caicedo in blue and white of Brighton, and it's a goal that means that Manchester United have conceded 53 now this campaign. They've been so poor defensively, their worst number since 1979. Rafael Varane admitting as much this week when he said they have to defend a little closer, they have to be a little bit better, they have been irregular, he said, at the back. And they certainly were irregular there. That went straight through the legs of Lindelof from 20 yards out. Here come Brighton again, who've started so well. Trossard on the left-hand side of the penalty area, tries to play it to the left, looks for Cucurella, it's cut out by Dalot, and he charges up the field for Manchester United, then looks to release Ronaldo, and Ronaldo apologises because he knows that maybe the better idea was to run into that channel where Dalot placed the ball.
Just on the goal, Sam, again, it's basic defending, basic. Once the ball comes out, then you push up. You don't give anyone the chance to strike it first time. Caicedo to take the touch, get it back onto his right foot as well. Talk about being a bit unlucky with going through Lindelof's legs, but he's got to be closer. The midfielders have got to be closer to make sure the shot doesn't come out. So you make your own luck, and I have to say Brighton have been the better side in the first 15 minutes and probably deserve to be one up.
Absolutely. It was a dreadful header from Tellez as well, which caused them all sorts of problems from the initial cross. Here's Fernandes onto McTominay as they look to try and get back in the game. 1-0 to Brighton. Mata into the box looking for Ronaldo, flicked away by Veltman, and it goes out for Manchester United's first corner of the game. Yeah, that's right, we've played just a little over 17 and a half minutes, and it's the first corner of the game for Manchester United, who just haven't got going. State played so well against Brentford on Monday night, but certainly the engine hasn't started here properly. Here's Alex Telles clipping the ball to the far post. McTominay underneath it. Ronaldo trying to keep it alive. It's away by Dunk from the penalty spot. Matic sends it back, and then Fernandes just drifts the ball into the penalty area. It wasn't the worst ball, actually.
I'll tell you what, that was a very good ball, and it was actually brilliant technique, because there wasn't really pace on it, and he did it with the outside of his boot, just in behind. What he needed was for people to run onto it at the far post.
Well, Manchester United have had a wretched time of it, and a lot of it the product of an absence of a coherent long-term strategy and plan. But the malaise is wide. Even their fan protest was disorganised and half-hearted on Monday night. Seemingly even the fans have caught the apathy. But they only took 12 minutes to get underway with their anti-Glazers chance today. They certainly were quite quick to get on the owner's back once more. Here's Ronaldo inside the centre circle, looking to release Elanga, who stretched for it. And couldn't quite reach, and Dunk tidies up at the back for Brighton. That goal seems to have just sparked a little bit of something in Manchester United, saying that was absent for the opening 15 minutes of the game, but it is Brighton who lead. Here on the left is Alex Telles. Infield it goes. A rare seagull just starts to swoop down above the head of Fernandes and then take off again as the ball drifts towards the corner flag and goes out of play. There's usually a guy with a seagull hat that doesn't sit too far away from us. He's not wearing it today, which is disappointing. Always a feature of our visits to the Amex Stadium, this beautiful bowl which is planted in the heart of the Sussex countryside. Here's Matic moving his way all the way through the Brighton defence, sets up Mata. His shot takes a deflection, pops over the top of the crossbar, and it's out for another Manchester United corner, who have just woken up a little bit.
They had the difference there, though. Caicedo got tight, but Mata making sure that he wasn't able to get a shot on. Really good run for Matic going into the box. Thought he might have had a shot himself. He didn't. He laid it across. Matic took a touch, but Caicedo was close. The difference between that and the goal.
Telles and Fernandes combining on this near side from the corner, goes towards the back post. His little deflection comes back to Matic, and he miskicks it, spoons it out of play. And there's a little bit of disorganisation at the back there from Brighton. They just lost the flight of the ball there, and a little defensive deflection almost caused them a real issue. Come out to Matic, and then he didn't particularly hit it well at all, and it goes out and away for a goal kick away to our left. But 20 minutes have ticked past, and it's Brighton who lead thanks to Moises Caicedo's goal. And he's made a real impact since coming in January. He signed quite a while ago, actually. He spent the first half of the season on loan in Belgium. This is his 6th Premier League start in a row, and he's made a good impact, the Ecuadorian.
He has. He's done really well, and Brighton are quite happy to make signings and don't necessarily bring them in straight away.
McTominay onto Elanga in the number 10 position, gets it to Ronaldo inside the box. Veltman did really well, got tight to Ronaldo, stopped him from being able to get enough momentum behind the strike, and blocked it, and the ball dribbled into the arms of Robert Sanchez.
I don't know why Robert Sanchez has kicked the ball out. Well, Ronaldo didn't have a problem with his head, just carry on. You're on top, just keep it that way. But again, that's what you want to do with your back three. Once it goes down the middle, you all come in, make sure you're compact. And again, we talk about not giving especially someone like Cristiano Ronaldo time on the edge of the box, and really good defending there from Brighton. Made sure that not only did they stop it, but it looked like he hurt himself a bit, Ronaldo, as well.
TalkSport live at the Amex Stadium, and the ball is at the feet of Pascal Gross, who moves it quickly into the right wing position for Solly March as Brighton come on the charge once again, jinking into the box, gets it back off Gross, back to Gross again down the right side of the area, tries to play it into the box, blocked by Matic, and it's only half cleared. Back by Mata towards the left side of his own area, and Manchester United struggling to get out because so many numbers have been committed forward by Brighton, as McAllister fails to link the play. And Manchester United do eventually get it away, with Fernandes combining with Ronaldo, who's now moved out into a right wing position. He runs diagonally into the centre and tries to play it out wide. Misplaced his pass and gave it straight to Leandro Trossard, who looks to release Welbeck. He gives it to Lindelof. They turn it over again, and United come forward. They're now inside opposition territory. There's a foul by Trossard, probably born out of frustration, and a free kick given to Manchester United wide on the right.
Well, if Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo, you'd be thinking, hold on a second, if I need to make changes at half-time, that number 7 might be coming off. He's given the ball away, he's lost it, but you just know, at the moment, every time he's on the pitch, one chance can be goal.
You can tell him, by the way, if he is coming.
No, you tell him. Funny enough, I think when he scored against Brentford as well on Monday, he sort of signalled to Ralph Rangnick and said, whatever you do, do not take me off. Don't get that board up. So Ralph Rangnick tried telling him as well.
He turned around to the crowd as well, said, I'm staying here, didn't he? You know, he wants to stay at Manchester United. Fernandes delivers the ball towards the far post. McTominay back across the face of goal. Elanga flicked it on, but not towards goal, and it's cleared by Caicedo up towards the right side. Graham Potter stalking around inside the technical area as Manchester United come forward again, trailing by a goal to nil. 23 minutes on the clock, live on Talk Sports. The floodlights come on as the cloud goes over again. Matic on the ball for Manchester United, plays it square. Dalot sends it wide. Now Fernandes in a right wing position, lots of space to get a cross in, still managed to find the back of Cucurella, and it's out for a throw in over on the far side. It remains 1-0 to Brighton on Talk Sport, and Brighton are unbeaten in 11 Premier League games when scoring first this season. Dalot takes it in from the touchline, looks to try and take on Trossard, beats him, gets into a right wing position, looks up, and well, he was hoping to find Ronaldo, but his cross was overhit, and it goes out of the penalty area on the right side as Brighton look at it, and they bring it clear. Loads of live football to come on Talk Sport over the next few days as Brighton play on despite a foul on Caicedo. Chelsea, Manchester United in the WSL tomorrow. Should be Chelsea's title if they win tomorrow. Out on the left, the ball picked up by Trossard from Cucurella, gets to the edge of the box, tries a shot, takes a deflection, goes behind, and it's out for another corner to Brighton, who lead by a goal to nil.
A brilliant play from Brighton, really good counter-attack. Fair play to the ref for playing on as well, because there was a foul. But I'll tell you what, there was just a little bit of a 50-50 battle between Elanga and Cucurella, who's going to get to the ball first, and Cucurella got there, and you can see they want it more, they're up for it, and Brighton do believe they can go and get this second goal.
Brighton 1, Manchester United 0. Here's the corner to be taken by Gross on the right side. McAllister lurking at the near post, Welbeck bouncing around, trying to cause problems, being marked by Elanga, which I'm not sure is wise. Ball's delivered to the far post, Dunk heads it back across the face of goal, and there is Lindelof to get it clear, and then Mata helps it towards the halfway line. Cucurella, Dunk, and then Basuma back to Cucurella with his hair bouncing around, bobbing around behind him. He's got David Luiz hair, hasn't he, Cucurella? And Basuma's fought for the ball in midfield, won it, and then given it away, and Mata has flown it out towards the near touchline. Fernandes trying to keep it in, hooks it into the sky. Referee says that didn't go out, but Brighton have got it again. Currently Brighton 1, Manchester United 0. For the latest odds, you can head to Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. Right now you can get Brighton at 11-8 on to go on and win the game. The draw 3-1, Manchester United out to 9-2. That's all thanks to Betfair, where you can get a £2 free bet when you bet £10 worth of Access or Bet Builders with their daily rewards. 18+, begambleaware.org. TalkSport.
I tell you what, don't rule out Manchester United in this game. They're playing poorly, but they do have the players to come back into it. Decent odds to that.
Haven't we been saying that all season?
We have. You just put me in my place. I'm just looking at the odds.
Well, I think Ralph Rangnick came across a little bit frustrated that Manchester United saved one of their best performances for their last home game of the season, as Anthony Elanga gets one right on the top of the bottom of the shin by Yves Basuma.
I'll tell you what, that was a hefty challenge, that, Sam, because he came through, he won the ball, but then he kind of followed through and then showed his studs and caught Elanga. So I'm not sure if VAR are going to get involved in this because he won the ball first, but it was a definite follow through, and Elanga looks like he's struggling at the moment.
Yeah, and Darren Fletcher is just having a brief word with one of Graham Potter's assistants on the near touchline, and the fourth official, who today is John Brooks. And he's asking that question, I think. I haven't seen Ralph Rangnick since he was taking selfies with loads of Brighton fans earlier today. When I did see him, though, he was wearing the
heck of a jumper.
Yeah, I was going to say god-awful jumper, but you're probably better at describing it than me.
Well,
salmon pink, was it, with a blue undershirt?
Not there sure you go. You know already. No, I mean, he's no Jose Mourinho in the sort of fashion stakes, is he? But
here is McAllister on the halfway line. We're back underway on TalkSport. 1-0 to Brighton. Tackle by Scott McTominay is an illegal one. It's a little bit short from Scott McTominay, and as a result of that, he ended up giving away a free kick just left of the centre circle. Tarek Lamptey just warming up away to our left-hand side for the first time today. Gets a round of applause from the Brighton fans away to our left. Manchester United struggled a little bit away from home recently, and they haven't started particularly well here. They grew into the game after conceding the goal, but Brighton were on the attack with Welbeck down the left-hand side. The ball tossed to him and he volleys it wildly into the air. There was an ooh from the crowd, but that was about as testing for David De Gea as a maths test which went 2 + 2.
But the answer is? No, I mean, I'll tell you what, it would have been some goal from Danny Welbeck there with the technique, but the worrying thing is, just from a simple free kick over the top, he was almost in.
Here's Basuma in the dead centre of the Manchester United half, charging forward, blocked by McTominay, turned away by Ronaldo, and then it's given back to Dalot in the right full-back position. 1-0 to Brighton and Hove Albion. Welbeck goes across and tries to close down Lindelof. It's a bit more energy and organisation about Brighton. They look more of a team than Manchester United, who have for most of the season looked like a collection of individual players, and that's certainly evident here. There's so much more choreography about this Brighton team than there is about the Manchester United team.
Well, this is why I was saying I was having a bit of an argument with Adrian earlier, and he was saying, well, not enough goals, and I get that, but I mean, who doesn't want a 20-goal a season, man, and how much they cost, certainly in the Premier League?
That's not the full story about Brighton, is it? Here is March down the right-hand side, trying to get into the penalty area, tips the ball to the far post, looking for Welbeck, it's cleared away, and then it's helped further away by Elanga. Cucurella gets there, and he wins it high up the field for Brighton and Hove Albion. Claps all round from the bench as they come forward down the left again. Cucurella's got beyond Elanga into a crossing position. Elanga comes back at him, so he turns and fires it back into Basuma. They keep possession brilliantly, Brighton. Edge of the area is Trossard, maybe 10 yards back from it. Plays it square to Veltman, who's joining the attack. He chips the ball into the 18-yard box. It wasn't a great ball, but they've won it again. Caicedo picks it up, and it's now on to McAllister. Square to Gross. Gross under pressure, turns it back to McAllister. But again, Manchester United can't get a kick here. Caicedo, back to McAllister. Out on this right-hand side is Solly March waiting for the ball. He chests it down, he takes it on, he plays it down the right for Gross. Gross with a chance to cross. They've dragged Varane right out from centre half. Play it infield towards Solly March, and it's blocked by Tellez. It's out for a corner.
This is absolutely brilliant play from Brighton, it really is. If someone had come down from Mars and looked at this, he'd be saying, well, one of the biggest clubs in the world definitely play in blue and white stripes. The way they're passing the ball and playing with such confidence, United just chasing shadows at the moment.
Here's the corner kick from the near touchline to be taken by Pascal Gross, the German. He's got Veltman to aim at, Dunk to aim at. They're on the edge of the box looking to run and dart in towards that near post. They do that now, and Dunk tries to get up there, doesn't quite. Varane away, Cucurella brings it down, shoots, blocked by Matic, and it goes out as far as Basuma, and then Caicedo all the way back to the halfway line. When I said it wasn't the full story, the issue often is talked about is they need a goal scorer. Well, Neil Maupay has got 10 goals this season. Trossard's got 7 goals. The problem is nobody else has got any goals. Yeah. That's the biggest issue. Brighton have only scored 34 Premier League goals this season. Only 4 teams have scored fewer, but the issue is they don't have enough players contributing with goals. Only Watford have fewer Premier League goal scorers this season than Brighton.
Yeah, I'll go even more bigger picture on that. When you think they've never finished above the bottom 6 in the Premier League era, or even above 13th in their history, and they are where they are, these are special times for Brighton fans.
Here is Basuma, moving towards the middle point of the opposition territory, onto McAllister, swept wide, onto March, back to Gross, cross into the box looking for Welbeck, it's headed away by McTominay, and out on the other side for Elanga to clear up to the halfway line. Brighton playing brilliantly, and Ralph Rangnick now has got out of his technical area, and he's charged towards the edge of that technical area to try and get a message on, because he knows his team very much under the cosh and very much second best. Scott Minto.
Well, they just got to get tighter, it's as simple as that. They're just dropping off, United, because it looks like that they're the smaller team that's not able to get close to them, and that just gives Brighton, obviously with the home crowd as well, even more confidence. Look, when the moment Ronaldo gets the ball, someone's on him, he nearly gives the ball away again there. The way that Brighton are chasing without the ball, they're giving United no time, and they've won the ball back. as I say, with the ball and without, amazing.
March, overhead kick into Caicedo, onto McAllister, back to Veltman. They're in a crossing position now. Veltman's got loads of space to run into, doesn't need it. A little flick by Gross, sends it back towards the corner flag. But March tucks it round the corner. Gross across the face of goal, stopped by Lindelof. Had to be because Welbeck was lurking. Lazy Manchester United defending initially, and then Lindelof had to come to their rescue. It's Caicedo again, towards the left, onto Trossard, trying to brew a second goal here. Trossard into the box, twisting, turning, producing a cross, flicked away by McTominay, and then on the edge of the box it's hoofed away by Bruno Fernandes upfield.
My goodness, that sums it up, doesn't it? The short, intricate passing of 3v2s and 4v3s and 2v1s, and then suddenly United get the ball back. Bruno Fernandes, with his ability, literally does a hoof and have it up there. Ronaldo trying to chase it. This is amazing play from Brighton. We're 33 minutes in. United are getting away with 1-0 at the moment.
Oh, that's a poor attempt at a tackle by Alex Telles. And both Welbeck and March look to be stealing a march into the opposition penalty. The only reason that they didn't go away and have a 2-on-1 situation was because I think March maybe went just a little bit too early. I'll tell you what, it was very tight, Scott. The offside flag went up, but it was tight.
It was really tight, and Telles with his body positioning as well, he couldn't chase in behind, so he had to try and go for it. He got lucky there.
And McAllister just left the ball, and it almost ran right down the middle of the pitch into the D for Welbeck. It was just a little bit too far to his right, so he couldn't reach it, and Manchester United get away with another one. Well, we've played 34 minutes. You're listening to TalkSport, and live at the Amex. One by McAllister, Robin McTominay, picked up by Trossard, edge of the box, strikes it, and it's not the greatest contact from Trossard. He drags it wide of the upright, away to De Gea's left, and it goes out for a goal kick. But a second goal is coming here unless Manchester United get to grips with Brighton's tenacity and movement.
Absolutely. Again, there's two players on top of McTominay. He's lost the ball there. Trossard, I feel, should have done a lot better there on his left foot. He's just a couple of yards to the side, almost on the edge of the box. It's quite simply has to hit the target there.
You're listening to Brighton against, I think it's Manchester United on TalkSport with We Buy Any Car. Sell your car in under an hour, leaving you with more time to watch the football. Is there an accusation here that Manchester United have got a little bit of the summer holidays about them?
This is Manchester United, Sam. I don't care where you are in the league. You're playing for that one of the biggest clubs in the world.
McAllister, loads of space for Cucurella out on the left. He's found him now. He charges into the penalty area, low ball into the box, and it's cleared away by Matic, who stops it from reaching McAllister as it comes back again towards the Argentine. And once again, Manchester United a little bit fortunate to not concede a decent shot on target there. Certainly the balance of power in this game is all with Brighton at the moment. 56% possession to the home team, 6 shots on goal, 1 on target. That's the goal that has put them in front. Not a shot on target so far from Manchester United in the game.
Surprised at that possession, to be honest with you. Feels like Brighton has more.
Ronaldo back to Matic. Matic on the centre circle, plays it into Mata, who felt he was clipped by Caicedo. It's out to the left and Alex Telles, and Telles then turns it infield towards Matic. Back into Mata again, back to goal, being hounded by Yves Bissouma. Wide on the left is Alex Telles once again. Manchester United struggling here against Brighton. They trail by a goal to nil. Earlier on today we had some massive storylines in League 2 and in the Championship. Bristol Rovers scoring 7 against Scunthorpe to get promoted on goals scored ahead of Northampton Town. Forest Green winning the title in League 2. In the Championship, Luton beat Reading to finish 6th. Millwall and Middlesbrough missed out on the playoffs. Luton versus Huddersfield and Sheffield United versus Nottingham Forest. They're the playoff games. They're all live on the TalkSport network. Every playoff game is, and the finals are only here. Make sure you join us for them. We're looking forward to camping out at Wembley in May for all the big games, all the big moments, and we'll deliver them to you over the course of the next few weeks. And in the Premier League, Watford were relegated today. I don't think there was too much of a surprise about that. Saints lost again. Connor Cody scored a 97th minute equaliser against Chelsea, who were 2-0 up. And we are going to Watford actually on Wednesday night. Another live commentary for you. That's after we've done the playoff game on Monday night between Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United in Sunderland. And if you watched that last night, the first leg, you'll know just how intense that was up at the Stadium of Light. The return on Monday night is live on TalkSport. We're at Watford against Everton on Wednesday night. Could be a massive night with Wolves playing Man City and Leeds playing Chelsea as well. That's 7:45, Watford against Everton, Wednesday night only on Talk Sport. Free kick to Manchester United, and this is 7 steps back from the edge of the D, and this is Ronaldo territory. So this is what you were saying. He's hardly been in the game, and now he could come up with something special.
Absolutely, and it was a really poor challenge that didn't need to be made. 25 yards out, and it is bang in the middle of the goal as well. And how many times have we seen Ronaldo pull up his shorts, puff out his chest, and stick the ball in the back of the net?
I wonder what you're going to say then.
We're still early.
Watershed incoming. There he is, the scorer of 58 direct free kicks, right-footed over the top of the crossbar. It's not going to be a 59 just yet. It goes out of play, and it's out for a goal kick. You don't think he caught that at all well. He tried to line up the valve, struck it right-footed, and it ballooned over the top. It just didn't look like coming back down. It did do the sort of swerve in the air, but it never looked as if the trajectory was going to dip.
Yeah, the first bit went well, it went up. The problem is it just carried on going up. I mean, if you look at his performance, if you analyse his performance, and he hasn't been given the highest of quality, and sometimes he has brought the ball down or tried to lay off the ball, but in terms of when he's actually been on the ball, he's had a shocking game. But just because of who he is and what he's done, you know, in the past and also this season as well, he's one of those players you just cannot afford to take off, because any given moment he will stick the ball in the back of the net. The problem is the rest of the team. No one's playing well. You tell me who's playing well here. Maybe Darlow at right back. He's done well defensively, tried to get forward a couple of times. Apart from that, all the individual battles, everyone's losing.
Well, Brighton have scored the only goal of the game. It means now it's 10 games since Manchester United kept a clean sheet away from home. Here is March flicking the ball to Gross elegantly. Low ball into the box, and Trossard was trying to reach it coming in from that left side, but Dalot did just enough to put him off. Cucurella has got rid of Belanga and delivered a cross into the area away by Tellez. No real pressure on him. Caicedo keeps it alive. Brighton putting pressure on Manchester United again, leading by a goal to nil 6 minutes before the break. Still Ralph Rangnick now stands in that technical area with those dark grey slacks on. He's got a jacket on now as well to keep him warm. As Gross clips it down the right touchline brilliantly for March, who chests it, sends it back to the edge of the box and almost came through to McAllister. Dallow had to tidy up for United again. It's cleared away.
Honestly, you said it with your tongue in cheek a little bit. What is this Manchester United? This is so far off where United need to be. If Erik ten Hag is watching this, and he will at some point, he will be thinking, my goodness, we've got to just gut out this team. It's not good enough. And look, United are going to finish 6th. They're not going to finish in the top 4 for sure. They won't finish lower. But you're playing for Manchester United. Win your individual battle. And I said earlier as well, I was really interested in watching Anthony Elanga live. But Cucurella, the way he's playing against him, he's not giving him any time at all. He has, at the moment anyway, he has got him in his pocket, and that pretty much sums up all these individual battles. 40 minutes in, and I'm telling you now, Manchester United are getting away with only losing 1-0.
Yeah, they are, and they've got 58 points from their 36 games as it stands right at this very moment, but they've only got one game to play after this, and teams around them have got a lot more. You know, so this is their 37th game. If they were to finish with 58 points today, you know, 1 or 2 teams might start thinking there's a possibility, West Ham being one of them, if they can raise themselves.
Well, 6 points away is going to be tough, but you never know.
You never know. Gross to take this free kick down by the touchline. He sends the ball towards the far post. It's clipped away by Dallow, but kept alive by Trossard. Trossard with people queuing up in the centre. One of those is done. Drops inside the area. Did that hit a hand of McTominay? It was brought down and then cleared away by the Scot up over the halfway line. But again, defensively, not good enough for Manchester United. They looked rocked once more. 4 minutes before the break. Brighton 1, Manchester United 0. You're listening live to Talk Sport in the Premier League. Manchester United at the moment are in a situation where actually, you know, if West Ham did win their 2 games in hand, Scott, they would be above Manchester United on goal difference.
Okay, you just put me in my place again.
Oh, given away by Varane, and then well back to chip the goalkeeper just wide. Oh my word, that was absolutely pathetic. The ball was kicked long by Sanchez up over the halfway line. It bounced once and Varane went to volley the ball. He completely miskicked it under pressure, gave it to Welbeck, who hit it first time, it was instinctive from Welbeck. He didn't have a chance to get it under control. As a result of that, he couldn't steer it on target, but it was massively dangerous.
That's an amazing chance. He had the chance to sort of move his feet, get it in the right position. Yes, he had to take it first time, but that's a pretty simple lob over De Gea, who is in no man's land as well. Terrible mistake in the central defence. And that should definitely be 2-0, and 2-0 going in at half-time. I mean, he'd probably want to make 7 or 8 substitutions, Ralph Rangnick, but this has just not been good enough. You're talking about, again, look, I do think Manchester United will finish 6th. West Ham, I'd love to see them catching them, I can't see it. But this is a million miles off where they need to be. And I'm not even comparing with Liverpool and Manchester City as well. They're nowhere near a top 4 side right now.
Yeah, one of the things I have just remembered is that West Ham have got to play Manchester City yet.
And Brighton.
You can have your place back. Cucurella has it on the far side.
You've only put my place once then, is that right?
Yeah. It's like you put me in my place a couple of times with my little scooter jibes. Well, Manchester United look like they need a scooter at the moment to get them firing, and they certainly need some sort of energy to get them on track. They're losing here by a goal to nil. They've been second best in every department. Gross has it on the near side into Basuma. A touch to McAllister, who's coming back from an offside position, and could have been a nice little ball, neat ball into the path of Trossard. Didn't quite reach it. Offside flag has gone up, and we've got a minute before half time. You are listening to Talk Sport. Brighton are on course to set a few records this season, which is motivation enough for them. Not that they look like they need that much motivation. They've never finished above the bottom 6. They've already posted more Premier League points than ever before, and wins than ever before, and they could post new bests for goals, clean sheets, and the fewest goals conceded. What they haven't achieved so far this season is been a top 10 side here at the Amex. In fact, they haven't won here since Boxing Day when they beat Brentford, which is, I suppose, I mean, encouragement for Manchester United in the second half.
It's incredible the way they played. You know, look, we're giving Manchester United all the stick, and rightly so. This is one of, if not the biggest club in the world. But Brighton, again, I just say to those fans who are not quite happy the fact they haven't scored enough goals and the home form hasn't been good enough, just look at the bigger picture. Look where the club's come from in both recent and long-term times as well. Could be a top 10 finish for the first time ever, and not just that, playing fantastic football. It's incredible.
Yep. And that was a foul by Cristiano Ronaldo, which is why everyone was going ooh, ah, and then he got a yellow card for it. So he's been booked and spoken to by Andy Madley. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, and the Brighton fans, I think, are quite enjoying themselves here. Brighton, with this victory, would go up into 9th position above Crystal Palace, 47 points from 36 go. But Wolverhampton Wanderers and Palace and Aston Villa have got games in hand on them, so there will be still a challenge for them to finish in the top half of the table, but so far it's looking very good for them.
Sam, my argument with Adrian was it's not just about goals, and you mentioned that as well. It's, fans want to come here, and of course they want to see their team to win, but what they want is to be entertained, to think, like, I've earned my hard-earned money, I'm putting into a ticket, and I'm coming to be entertained, and I feel part of something. They really are part of something here on the Graham Potter.
Yeah, and the home film will come. It will definitely come, because the way the team is set up, and it has been 6 months of toiling here. They have thrown away leads here, and you would expect that there will be problems.
Look at the wage bill. They're not spending lots of money, and they probably would go a little bit higher in terms of transfer fee, but they won't go a lot higher in terms of budget. So you're not going to get the next stage of players. So you want the Graham Potter to improve players and get a system to create chances. He can't go on there and finish those chances, but he can create patterns of play, which we're seeing at the moment, which is an absolute joy to watch.
Manchester United have the ball, rarely deep inside opposition territory, and Matic then is blocked by Gross, and the ball is cleared up towards the halfway line, and it goes all the way back to Rafael Varane, who's deep inside his own territory. Fernandes is on the left-hand side, a yard in from the touchline, moving diagonally infield for Manchester United, who are desperate to try and get back to Manchester without losing here today, but that's going to be very difficult for them. after what has been a terrible first 45 minutes from them. Manchester United's away day blues continue on the seaside. They might have thoughts that they are drifting towards the beach, but Brighton are certainly not ready for their holidays just yet. A terrific first 45 minutes from Graham Potter's team, with Moises Caicedo scoring his first ever goal for Brighton and in the Premier League, separating the two at half-time. And as a result, they are heading for their first home win since Boxing Day. At half-time, Faye, it's Brighton 1, Manchester United 0.
Yeah, well,
Manchester United making two changes, Fred and Cavani coming on. So Fred will go in alongside his old mate McTominay, and Cavani coming on up top alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, and Elanga is the other change, I think. So two changes at half-time, and Scott, they had to do something because they were dreadful in that first 45 minutes.
Well, they really were. And, I was asking you, or we were chatting, about the sort of central midfield. What options have they got on the bench? And really, the number one is Fred to bring on. And he's not been United's best player in their history, but
he's been probably one of their best players under Ralph Rangnick, to be honest with you.
Arguably, yeah.
And he gets around the pitch a lot more than everybody else.
Absolutely, he does get his foot in, and that's what they need to do, because at the moment Brighton have been running circles and rings around Manchester United in that midfield. They need to get hold of the ball. Not surprised to see Cavani come on as well. There'd be a little bit of a different shape. I was disappointed in Elanga. I thought he might be one to watch, but yeah, it's at least the positive substitutions.
Underway in the second half, and Manchester United in red shirts, white shorts and black socks attacking the goal away to our right, and Brighton in blue and white striped jerseys with blue shorts attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. And when Brighton get ahead, they tend to stay ahead, a marked improvement from last season when they were throwing away points hand over fist. This season they've only dropped 4 points from winning positions. Only Manchester City have a better record than that. They lead here by a goal to nil, and they start with their goalkeeper Sanchez, Veltman, Duncan, Cucurella at the back three, March, Basuma, Caicedo and Trossard in the midfield quartet, with Gross and McAllister supporting Welbeck. There was a late challenge by McTominay, an unnecessary challenge on this near side on Cucurella. He went in from the side, kicked him high up on the knee and then dragged him to the floor. Then Cucurella actually had a kick out of McTominay as well.
Interesting. McTominay again trying to get tight, couldn't get tight. Cucurella I thought was absolutely superb in that first half, and Elanga got taken off because of it. Yeah, could have been a yellow card either way, to be honest though.
Quick free kick from Gross down the left side towards Trossard, who squeezed it between two players to get it back to Gross, who then looked to return it to Trossard but couldn't quite do so. The Belgian lost out to Dalot, and then Dalot fighting with Cucurella, tries to get down the near side. That's a wild challenge by Dalot on McAllister after losing the ball. Frustration, yellow card, and that was stupid.
Well, it's a lack of discipline. I actually think he was Man U's best player in the first half, but what he did, he won the ball back well, and then he tried to go past a couple of players, went past one, did well. Cucurella came in, didn't quite get the pace, and as he's gone past him, he's just got to realise he's not going to get there, and if you're diving in with McAllister getting in front of him, it can only be a yellow card, and now he's put himself under pressure for the rest of the game.
2 minutes played in the second half. Manchester United have got De Gea in goal. Dalot's been booked, Lindelof, Varane and Telles, McTominay and Fred, then Mata and Fernandes supporting Cavani and Ronaldo in attack. Free kick to Brighton as a result of that foul from Gross, drifting towards the right side of the Manchester United box, away by Varane, chested down by Cavani and then taken wide towards the left by Alex Telles, who gets the ball up onto the halfway line, sucked back into Varane, and then McTominay, who drives the ball forward looking for the run of Ronaldo. He wanted it over the top, it went through the middle, it was cut out easily by Brighton, and they have it again on the halfway line.
Can't keep on doing 40-50 yard balls though, Sam. You've got to play through the midfield, and then Ronaldo can make those runs, because to ask McTominay to do a crossfield 40-50 yard ball over the back three of Brighton, but still to make sure that the keeper can't come out and get it, it's just impossible.
Scoreline is Brighton 1, Manchester United 0. Second half here at the Amex Stadium on what has been a wonderful day of entertainment across the TalkSport network. You've been listening to TalkSport 2, I'm sure you've enjoyed it. Low ball into the box from the right side by McAllister, picked up on the left by Trossard, who keeps it alive. Cucurella is joining! Rams it into the roof of the net! Brighton have a second goal. Manchester United are melting on the south coast, and it's nothing more than they deserve. Cucurella has his head in his hands. It's his first Brighton goal, and it's an absolute cracker. Really well worked. Down the right they went, a low cross through the middle of the box. It came out the other side. They recycled it with Trossard, who set up Cucurella, and he smashed it into the roof of the net. Brighton 2, Manchester United 0, and maybe Brighton will finally find some home comfort after all.
And he's getting emotional as well after that strike, but again, just United defensively so poor. It's come from the throw-in from the right-hand side. The cross was allowed to come in. It went right across goal. No one's got tight to Trossard there, who's got time to look up and lay it back to Cucurella, who's been nothing short of superb. Not just a left centre-back. He's almost playing like a left wing-back and midfielder sometimes, the way he gets forward. He's inside the box. A wonderful left foot given De Gea, no chance whatsoever. And the pictures are going all to Cristiano Ronaldo, who's hardly had a touch all game, and when he has, they've been poor touches. But it's not about him. It's United defensively and without the ball. It's just not good enough. And I'll tell you what, any other team other than United, you'd be looking at this game, you'd be thinking, this could be 3-4-5 here.
Yeah, and those changes didn't work, did they? It took us 4 minutes for them to get a second goal. Here's Cucurella again, down the left side, into the box. Welbeck onto Trossard, twists, turns, gets the ball to his left foot, produces a cross, Varane steers it away. And it comes out on the edge of the penalty area, and it's cleared by Mata, and then, that's awful. Given away cheaply by Lindelof, and Veltman intervenes. He ends up going out of play, and the cameras pan to Ralf Rangnick, who is concerned, and rightly so. Manchester United have been well beaten here, and actually I think Trossard, if he could have shot with his right foot there, would have made it 3-0, because he cut back into a brilliant position on his right foot. He wasn't confident enough to hit it, and as a result of that, cutting back on his left, he was quickly in traffic. 2-0 to Brighton.
But Sam, does it not tell you everything that 2-0 and Brighton are going for third?
Because they think they can get one. And they should be encouraged to get one as well, because Leonardo Trossard setting up Marc Cucurella, and that was a rasping shot into the roof of the net. He hit it hard, he hit it true, and that net bulged away to our left, and the supporters inside this stadium, 31,000 in here again today, and that looks like a defining goal, but you never know. They have thrown away a 2-goal lead in a not too distant past. Cucurella juggles with the ball in his head, plays it wide to Trossard, who gives it away. Fred wins it back for Manchester United. 2-0 to score. Manchester United, who I think really and truly will look back on this season and feel like it's one of the worst in the modern era, if not the worst in the modern era for Manchester United. You'd have to go back a long way for a season to be as poor as this. Here is Fernandes into Fred. Fred sends it wide to Mata. Mata now in the left wing position, looks up, tries to send a cross towards Cavani. It's headed away by Cucurella and out into the fullback position for Trossard, who went to kick it clear, then decided against it. Cucurella has taken that responsibility, and Welbeck and Lindelof will fight for it. Oh dear. Missed by Dalot, given away. McAllister forward to Welbeck, charges down the left side, needs support, decides to run into the left wing position, chased by Dalot, but Trossard is joining up with him. McAllister's got it now. Caicedo, there's numbers over on the far side if they want to use them. Gross has picked it up, he sent it on into Solly March. He's got a chance to cross now into Basuma inside the area, charged down by a combination of Fred and Fernandes. Oh, lovely flick by Gross into March, low ball into the near post, away by Lindelof. And then it's eventually picked up by Fred over on the far side, but March is winning a tackle. Might be a foul by him. And again, Manchester United sloppy, Brighton crisp and sharp.
How many of these these players right now do you think will be a Manchester United player next season?
It's so difficult. We had this conversation with a number of different people at half-time, talking to the likes of Warren Aspinall was here. He said he grew up watching great Manchester United players of the past. Lou Macari, Sammy McElroy, Brian Greenhoff, and he looks at this lot now and thinks, how on earth are they wearing the red of Manchester United? There'll be others who grew up in a different era, even in the early 80s, when Ron Atkinson took them almost to a title, and that was deemed not good enough. I mean, they're miles off even that now. Here is Mata clipping the ball into the penalty area. Dunk heads it away. Should go out for a corner that Sanchez actually believed that it was going to go for a goal kick and let it go out, which is a mistake because it is a corner.
Well, you just need to be careful of something like that. You know, set piece if you're not playing well. So how do you get into the game? Well, just a good ball in and a decent header. So Brighton need to be careful because they're actually dominating this game at the moment.
Corner to be taken by Alex Tellez. One thing he can do is deliver a good set piece. 53 on the clock, nearly 54 on the clock as the ball is drifted towards the far post, looking for McTominay. Missed by him, comes out as far as Fred. He's on the right angle of the box, right side. Fernandez whips it, across the box. I'm not entirely sure what he was trying to achieve doing that, but they went backwards rather than forward, Manchester United, as a result. Here is Dalot, who sizes one up from 40 yards and misses by about the same distance.
Well, again, it just sums up where United are at the moment. You know, Brighton just said, OK, you're 30 yards out, 35 yards out. Have a shot if you want. Dalot, I think he's been the one player who's tried to be positive today whenever he's got on the ball. But again, just don't shoot from there, try and pass. But the options aren't there. Where Brighton have options, 2 or 3 different options to make that 3v2 or 2v1. United don't have that. The midfield's not been good enough today. The attacking players. And I'm sorry, if Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo, he would have been taken off at half-time as well. I do understand why he wasn't, but what I'm just trying to say is how poor these United players and United as a team have been today.
Well, Ralph Rangnick said that he wasn't happy with his 6 months in charge because they hadn't qualified for the Champions League and he would have expected to do so and relied heavily on Ronaldo. He said that he can divide his time in charge into different parts. Very good games, very good performances to start, and in between the home games against West Ham, Tottenham, away at Leeds. But what we've lacked in general was just consistency. I think that's wearing rose-tinted spectacles, I think. It hasn't been that good. Here's Dalot onto Cavani. Out to the right, looking for Dalot once again. Clips it in towards the near post. It's away by Veltman. Comes back to Mata on the volley. Gets over it, and it's straight down the throat. I mean, the fact that he's relied today on Mata and Matic tells its own story. The fact that the squad has got so many players that maybe aren't great characters, that can't stand up and deliver for him. At least he knows with those two they'll do their utter best.
Absolutely, senior pros who maybe can't get around the pitch in the way that they used to, but you can kind of rely on them. But I mean, you're up against a young, hungry Brighton side who are athletic, who know exactly what they're supposed to be doing with and without the ball.
Trossard canters forward down the left side for Brighton. He's got Cucurella outside him, who gets to the byline, low cross into the centre, steered away by Lindelof. Not great defending. Gross tries to win it, and Tellez manages to get it away. Comes back into the centre point of the Manchester United half, and Caicedo flicks the ball with the outside of his boot to Cucurella. Then Trossard trundles down towards the touchline. It goes back to Cucurella once again. Cucurella in a crossing position, but blocked off by Dalot, so he has to retreat slightly and goes back to Dunk, who is quite happy to go all the way back to his goalkeeper.
Just a slight thing there, Sam. Just, you know, when Dalot was up against Cucurella, he wasn't troubling him at all defensively.
Cucurella's just taken the ball out of the sky beautifully, played it into Trossard, too many spaces. Now Gross with a chance to make it 3. He does. Manchester United are being battered by Brighton. What a ball by Robert Sanchez to start the move. A long ball from the edge of the D out to the wide left position. 60, 70 yards. Taken out of the sky beautifully by Cucurella. Combinations on the edge of the box. Eventually it comes to Gross, who sidesteps one challenge and with his left foot puts it beyond David De Gea. And it's 3-0 to Brighton and Hove Albion. And Manchester United are ragged. They're ruined. And they're trailing by 3-0.
And 3-0 flatters United, not Brighton. Oh, wonderful play, you have to say. Let's talk about the positives first of all. Great ball out from Sanchez. First touch from Cucurella has been nothing short of superb. Then just lays it in. The ball goes to, first of all, Trossard, then to Gross, who even has time to take the extra touch. Varane can't get anywhere near him. As De Gea comes out, he puts it past him. And I'll tell you what, they are just opening and carving United up. this could be 5 or 6.
And they're coming forward again here, and Gross tries to nudge it down the right, looking for Solly March. Eventually it's cleared away. Cristiano Ronaldo standing hands on hips, shaking his head, can't quite believe what he is seeing. Well, he's a part of this performance, and this performance has been garbage. Here is Trossard down the left-hand side, but Brighton have been brilliant.
Absolutely, let's not take any credit away from Brighton, who have been superb. And look, Ronaldo it's been really poor. It's been one of the worst games I've seen, I have to say, in his career. But we can't just blame him, because everybody has been shocking. I honestly think there's only Diogo Dalot who can say, well, you know, at least I tried to give something. At least I tried my best. I thought defensively, just when I mentioned it a couple of minutes ago,
joke. I mean, they are being taken apart here. Here is Gross into Welbeck in the air. He's got 3 options, and it's smuggled in on the line by Trossard. It's 4-0. Danny Welbeck with the run down the outside. There were gaps everywhere. They were like a 10-year-old that lost all their teeth, Manchester United. There were so many holes. And running right through the middle of it was Danny Welbeck, drawing the goalkeeper out. He had 3 options in the centre. He chipped De Gea. It found its way to Trossard as Dalot tried to clear. It bounced straight in the goal. It's 4-0.
Well, I'll tell you what, it might just look at a possible handball here, because it was great play from Welbeck, and then actually Dalot comes back, gets it just off the line. It hits Trossard, and it looks like it does.
I don't know. Does it hit him on the arm or the chest? They're checking for a possible handball. I mean, that would be incredibly generous. I don't think it hits it lower than the T-shirt line, and that's where they've been measuring handball this season. They'll have a good look at it, and the referee is just getting instruction from the VAR. They're checking possible handball, and the ball went to the line. Dalot cleared it off the line against Trossard, and then it was smuggled in by him. Now, did it hit his arm? I don't think it's a clear and obvious error, even if it did. I think it hits his midriff.
I don't think we can tell there, to be honest with you. And if you can't tell, then you cannot give it. You have to give the goal.
Well, it's certainly not conclusive footage that we're seeing and we're seeing the VAR output here. And Andy Madley's still getting instruction from the VAR back in Stockley Park, who today is Chris Kavanagh, and he gives the goal.
He's got to. Sam, we're watching it at least half a dozen times, and we still don't know for sure that it's come off his arm there. Dalot does exceptionally well to try and get back on the line. And you know what? You know, VAR has to do what they have to do, and if it did hit his arm and it you know, you had to disallow it, I would almost say that Brighton have been so good. I don't care if it hits his fingertips, this should be allowed. 1, it was a really well-worked goal, and 2, just generally how well they played. Welbeck just getting in behind that defence. Dalot reading the situation, but Trossard being there. Inconclusive, no way they can disallow that. Have to give it 4-0. And again, I don't think that flatters Brighton.
4-0. Manchester United, you are an embarrassment. I mean, I don't care who you are. If you're playing for Manchester United, you don't just sack it off at the end of the season. That goal, that was a disgrace. There were so many spaces for Manchester United players to leave, for Brighton to expose and go into and get into positions they should never be allowed to. This is absolutely abysmal for Manchester United, and Brighton have taken full advantage. I tell you what, Liverpool fans will be certainly enjoying the demise of Manchester United this season, and they're looking for their latest victory a little bit later on today. Here is Cavani at the other end with a header, which is saved by the goalkeeper, comes through towards Fred. It's cleared away on this near side. Ronaldo trying to keep it alive, and it's smuggled out on this near touchline. Brighton 4, Manchester United 0. We played 64 minutes here on Talk Sport. Yes, Brighton 4, Manchester United 0. And I just said to our producer Carl Rowley, I said, can you get up the goal difference, please? Because I think Manchester United are heading, if they're not careful, into negative territory. They've got a +1 goal difference, Manchester United, over the season.
I'll tell you what, Sam, as well, that the way they're playing today, they'll be lucky to keep that +1. it could easily be negative. I mean, I didn't say it glibly earlier when I said this could be 5 or 6, but the way Brighton have played, and let's not take anything away from them, they've been nothing short of superb. They've answered all the critics today of any fans that might be saying not scored enough goals, the home form's been poor, and I understand that, the stats will show. But this is a Brighton side who look like they're on the way to finishing top half of the Premier League table, something they've never ever done before in their history, and they're now just trouncing Manchester United 4-0. Could easily be 5 or 6 the way they've been playing.
Manchester United have conceded 4 goals here at Brighton. This could be their worst defeat of the season. Oh, lovely ball by Welbeck. He's released McAllister. There's space for Gross on the far side. Gross back to McAllister. It's 5. No, just hits the outside of the post. And Dalot was the one who stopped it from being so. Should have been 5. This should have been a little bit more ruthless actually in front of goal.
Yeah,
there.
It could have been. I mean, both players actually could have had a shot themselves, and it's almost taking the mickey a little bit out of Manchester United training ground goals. The way that the ball came from McAllister, then back to him as well. And look, Darlow, I tell you what, he has been struggling today, but he's been United's best player defensively. I mean, he's just stopped a certain
goal. The only player that's done anything remotely positive. Substitution about to take place, and Adam Webster is about to come on. Is it going to happen before the corner or after the corner? No, it's going to take place after the corner that Pascal Gross has taken from this left-hand side, right footed in towards the near post. Ronaldo helps it into the air, and they'll go behind for another Brighton corner, a 6th of the afternoon. They lead by 4 goals to 0.
Sam, just the move that Brighton did, you know, it was like Arsenal at their very best with Thierry Henry not wanting to score but to keep on passing it. But what does it actually mean? The fact that you've got the confidence to do that against whoever you're playing against shows that you feel so superior to them. And this is just a really sad indictment of where Manchester United are right now.
McAllister coming off, Webster coming on, so there'll be a shift in formation. And it will mean probably a return to a back 4 for the home team, who have ripped Manchester United to shreds. And it is a lack of application and passion and desire from Manchester United. They've taken their foot off the gas. In fact, they never put their foot on the gas. And as a result of that, all of the gaps that opened up have been exposed ruthlessly by a Brighton team who have scored 10% of their season's goals in today's game. Here is the corner in towards the near post. De Gea punches it away under pressure from Welbeck. It's back in by Caicedo, but it's too heavily hit and it goes behind. It's Brighton 4, Manchester United 0. And for the latest odds, you can head to Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get next goal scorer odds like this: Ronaldo 4-1, Cavani 11-2, Welbeck 12-1. It's all thanks to Betfair. You can get a £2 free bet when you bet £10 worth of Access or Bet Builders with their daily rewards. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
My money's on Welbeck.
4-0 to Brighton. Dalot trying to push down the right side. He beats Cucurella to the ball, sends it into the centre, away by Webster, as far as Fernandes, who hits it, but Dunk gets there and steers it behind. It's away for a Manchester United corner. And you'll be able to have your say, by the way, on all of the day's football straight after us with Faye Carruthers in the team. 03717 223344 is the number to call. You can text us 81089 or tweet us at TalkSport. She'll get to all the messages and calls a little bit later on. Corner for Manchester United, whose fans have, some of them, walked out. Here is Fernandes shooting from distance, pushed away by Sanchez and cleared eventually by Cucurella up to the middle of the park. And not surprised that the Manchester United fans, some of them, a small portion of them, decided to walk out, because I tell you what, they probably have much more fun going down the promenade.
It's a lovely place down this neck of the woods, Brighton.
There's a lot of places that aren't lovely places, which might seem a little bit more appealing than watching this at the moment. Absolutely. For those Man United fans.
Absolutely. I mean, do you know what? I'd never advocate normally fans walking away. I'd always say, look, support your team, but this is just not good enough. I completely understand what they're doing. You know, 4-0, and they're getting trounced, and not just in terms of scoreline, the way they're playing. Again, defensively, they've had a couple of decent shots now, Manchester United, but you know, they're defending really, really tight, Brighton, and if it does go through to Sanchez, he's making really good saves. So you can see they're really wanting to keep the clean sheet. and they wanted to get that 5th goal as well.
Well, everyone talks about the fact that Brighton don't score enough goals. That's 9 now in their last 2.5 games.
Where's Adrian Durham?
Where is Durham? Where is he? Well, he's been everywhere this week, hasn't he? He's been to about 7 countries in 4 days. He's off to Sheffield Wednesday against Sunderland on Monday night as they bring you another playoff game. Manchester United desperate to try and stop the goals from going in, so they're bringing on Harry Maguire for the last half an hour.
Wow.
20 minutes.
Wow.
20 minutes. It's not that long.
Do you know what? That says everything. A team that is trying to shut up shop and take a 4-0. This is Manchester United we're talking about.
Fred on to Fernandes to the right, and Ronaldo gets into the box, takes it right-footed and drives it goalwards. It goes behind, wide of goal, and here comes Maguire, and he's going to come on for Juan Mata. And do you know what? He should have taken off Ronaldo, but he won't, because he hasn't got the bottle to do it.
No, he hasn't, which is why, look, let's not judge Ronaldo on today, but it's absolutely a crucial and massive decision for Erik ten Hag when he comes in and says, what am I going to do with Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best players in the history of football, but yet does he suit my style? I genuinely think his instincts say he's not part of what I would normally do. Is he strong enough to say, despite the goals that he scored this season, despite him being who he is, despite him having a year left on his contract still, I'm going to make sure that he's not going to be a Manchester United player. I'm fascinated to see what he is going to do with that, along with other situations. We talk about departments. I mean, I can only think of one person who's justified wearing a Manchester United shirt. Even then, he's not played particularly great, but he's given his all, Diogo Dalot. The rest, they'll be lucky to be a United player next season.
This is the worst performance of Manchester United's season by country mile, as Mata comes off and Maguire comes on. And just reconfigure the back line now with Lindelof coming out to make up one of 3 centre-halves, Varane in the centre and Maguire to the left, and Dalot playing as a right wing-back. And he's got the ball now, low ball into the box, tucked behind by Basuma. It's out for a corner to Manchester United. A big red smoke canister is let off away to our right. The smoke billowing into the evening sunshine, and it is evening sunshine now. Half of those Manchester United fans will be getting a little bit sunburnt. Here is Maguire with a header, hits the crossbar, comes back, and it's steered in by Cavani. He's offside. And he kicks the ball away in frustration.
Did he get a yellow card for that?
He probably should do. He's not going to. He's in an offside position. He's apologised to the referee. I was just about to say, the Manchester United fans getting the suntan away to our right-hand side are already red-faced after what they've seen here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was offside. It was a corner to the far post. Harry Maguire did well. He won the header first of all. It came back to him. A decent strike, but it wasn't going in. So Cavani, he had to take that touch. Yeah, it was going wide. But it's just position, starting play. Both him and Ronaldo were offside. You can see that the striker's instinct in both of them. But again, you've got to give credit to Brighton, just pushing out just the extra couple of yards, leaving them in and therefore being offside.
Brighton 4, Manchester United 0 on TalkSport with Now. And don't forget, with a Now Sports Day membership, you can stream all the Sky Sports action, including Arsenal versus Leeds, Manchester City versus Newcastle, live tomorrow for $11.98 without a contract. Search Now Sports. We will try and speak to Ralph Rangnick after the game. I wonder what he's going to say about it. I wonder if the supporters actually care anymore. I wonder if he cares anymore, because he's clearly, having spoken to him and been at some of his press conferences, he's clearly frustrated and fed up with everything. Fed up with the players. I mean, if you were Erik ten Hag, first of all, you'd check whether or not that contract's still valid. And the second thing, if it is, and you think, oh God, I'm stuck with them now, is you could be doing I was at Portsmouth in 2001 too. Harry Redknapp came in as the manager in that summer. 47 transfer transactions in and out. I mean, that is the kind of summer that this club need. You might as well just sign a full new team, mightn't you?
Absolutely. And I think, look, Ralph Rangnick has come in under a lot of pressure and a lot of stick as well, but he would have spent enough time to know who the right uns are and who the wrong uns are.
Fernandez shooting from distance and straight down the throat of Robert Sanchez, who pats it down rather easily and will clear away.
Ralph Rangnick is a good football person. He's not strong enough at Manchester United, and he never had a chance anyway coming in. These big, players with egos, and knowing that he's only here to the end of the season, looking at him if he's having a go at them, thinking, I know I'm going to be longer here than you anyway, so I'll do what I want to do. He will have known in the last 6 months exactly who the wrong uns are. And listen, I don't have a problem with him being a consultant. I don't think he's going to play a major part with what's happening, but he needs to tell Ten Hag who the people are that need to go.
Dello in towards the near post, poked behind by Dunk, and it's out for another Manchester United corner. Tariq Lamptey is about to come on for Brighton and Hove Albion. We haven't seen enough of him this season because of injury. He has had bad injury luck and had another knee problem recently. He's about to come on now for Brighton and Hove Albion, who lead by 4-0. Fernandez deep towards the far post. It's headed away out as far as Tellez, who recycles it, and Sanchez goes up there. Ronaldo goes up there too, but it's Sanchez who wins it. Dunk goes down with a bit of a head injury and it's cleared away. I was here last season, I think, when Manchester United won the game after full time. They weren't particularly good that game, but they got a penalty after the final whistle. Very weird situation when it happened. But at least they were competitive. I mean, today they haven't been competitive, and that is a dereliction of duty for all of the players that have been out there today. Right from the very off, Brighton have been desperate to win the game, had more hunger, had more desire, had more drive, and Manchester United just haven't matched even the basics that are required of you when you're a Premier League footballer, let alone a Manchester United Premier League footballer. Substitution. Off goes Solly March, on comes Tariq Lamptey.
Yeah, I really like Lamptey as well. He's a very good player, and I think he keeps fit. Well, what a player he is down that right-hand side. But look, you're absolutely right, Sam. And I don't judge teams on one game, but we know enough about Manchester United now. And there is a difference between being a Premier League player and being a Manchester City, Liverpool, United, Chelsea player as well. You need to step it up even more. The absolute basics should be whatever happens, you have that drive, that will to win. If I'm not playing well, I'm still going to make sure my immediate opponent doesn't play well. Look, Ralph Rangnick can't get away with it completely. You're looking at a team that doesn't really know what it's doing, both with and without the ball, but the players need to take responsibility too. It's just not been good enough, and as I say, there's going to be a big turnover of players come the summer. I'm sure they'll be calling Harry.
Manchester United conceded 56 goals in the Premier League this season, their most in a single campaign in the competition so far, and they've conceded 4+ goals in 12 Premier League games since Sir Alex retired now, as many times as they did in 810 Premier League games under Ferguson. How the mighty have fallen. Brighton 4, Manchester United 0. And you know what, credit to some of those Man United fans away to our right hand side, because they've stood up, they've kept singing even when their team have been absolutely disgraceful, and they've continued to try and cheer on the club, the team, and what the team represents. It is Manchester United, it is not the Glazers, it's not the players that currently wear the shirt, it is the shirt, it is the badge, and those fans represent that. Those who currently adorn it are certainly not worthy of it, and haven't been on many occasions so far this season. And if the Glazers haven't woken up and realised that they are in charge of a diminishing asset yet, they soon will realise it, unless Erik Ten Hag can turn the tide. But it is going to be an incredibly difficult thing to do. They have allowed it to drift. Lamptey chasing with Maguire, who's under a little bit of pressure, and then just prodded the ball away to Tellez. It's won by Fred in midfield. We're in the 77th minute of the game, and it's 4-0 to Brighton. Later on, Liverpool against Tottenham. We'll keep you updated with that with Matt Jones, and Baker others will take your calls. 03717 2233 44 is the number to call. Tomorrow we've got WSL action from midday. Looking forward to that. going to be a big day in the WSL because it's the final day in the WSL, and Chelsea take on Manchester United. Commentary from Joe Shannon and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Updates from West Ham Arsenal as well. They're the other team involved. And Reading against Manchester City. And at 6:30 tomorrow night, Milton Keynes Dons take on Wycombe in the League One playoff semi-final, second leg. Monday night is Sheffield Wednesday against Sunderland. Wednesday night, Watford Everton, and Leicester against Norwich. That's on TalkSport 2, and Watford against Everton is on TalkSport. And then next week, the FA Cup final. Here is Fernandes down the left, trying to get into a crossing position. There's a foul by Veltman. He apologises to the referee. Free kick.
I was going to say May's a great month, isn't it? But not if you're a Manchester United fan. Looking at the league table, seeing where you are, and watching this. I mean, a million miles away from worthy of a top 4 place, and I don't know how far away from a league title. They're years away. Looking at this.
They'll probably be 30 points away from the league title by the time the season ends. Here is the free kick by Fernandes, in towards the near post and straight into the arms of Robert Sanchez, who thrusts his arms into the sky and will clear it away. 4-0. Goals coming from Caicedo, Cucurella, Gross and Trossard. The worst thing is that Manchester United were terrible in the first half, but they changed at half-time and conceded 3 more goals before the hour mark.
Yeah, look, I don't blame Ralph Rangnick for that. He tried. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't a 1-0 first half. It was a 2 or 3-0, and he had to try and change it. But Brighton, again, being positive towards them, they've been superb. They really have. They've been clinical. In fact, it could have been more.
Actually, they'd be disappointed it isn't more.
Well, yeah, looking at that, you're thinking, and some of the moves they've made as well. Again, we've seen sometimes in the first half simple balls over the top, not been good enough.
Dallow down the right side, getting into a crossing position, a ball into the box and steered away by Dunk. Do you want me to, we all talk about stats, don't we? I mean,
you do.
A lot of people do. Fred down the right hand side, moving into the box, skips away from Cucurella, tries to set up Fernandes. Caicedo just stands there, nonchalantly takes the ball off his toes and then clears it upfield. But stats are sometimes misleading. These stats are misleading. Manchester United have had more possession. They've had 13 shots to Brighton's 15. They've both had 5 shots on target. They've both had 6 corners. Now, if you're looking at those stats, you're thinking, 4-0, that's ridiculous. How can it be 4-0? It was a much more even game than that. It wasn't. It should have been more than 4. Here is Cucurella, moving up towards the midway point of his own half, and then forward to Welbeck, who holds on to it under pressure from Harry Maguire. And Varane picks the ball off his toes. Neil Maupay is about to come on.
They're incredible stats, Sam, aren't they? Because I've never ever seen such a contrasting stats to game.
Yeah, it's not true, is it? I mean, it is true. I mean, obviously stats don't lie. They tell you the bare facts, but actually they don't represent the pattern of the game at all, in any way, shape or form.
It's not a United fan doing it from home.
It might be, yeah, maybe it is. You're listening to Brighton 4, Manchester United there. It might be Ralph Rangnick. Well, we're on TalkSport with We Buy Any Car. Sell your car in under an hour, leaving you with more time to enjoy the football. Cavani trying to get down the middle of the pitch, and Dallow is on this near side, picked up by Ronaldo, who drives the ball towards goal. Can't manage to finish it off, and it goes wide of the left hand upright. Here's the change then, and it's the end of the evening for the goal scorer of goal number 4 for Brighton. Leandro Trossard, and Neil Maupay is coming on to replace him. And Neil Maupay is their top scorer. He needs just 1 goal to set a new club record of Premier League goals. Currently level with Glenn Murray on 26. He hasn't scored here since Boxing Day. He's got just 1 in 15 in the Premier League since December. He will be licking his lips.
I'd have stuck him on earlier, Sam, with those type of stats. My goodness me, when you're dominating a game that much, get on your striker, get your striker on as quickly as possible. Game is won, get the confidence back. He hasn't scored since Boxing Day here. Well, Brighton haven't won since Boxing Day here. That's about to change.
What an emphatic way to change that statistic, by the way, against a club like Manchester United. And they're usually generous hosts, Brighton. They've got nice fans. They're always pretty good to the opposing side that come and visit. They even put a local beer on in the away end as a result of trying to make everybody feel very comfortable. Maybe that's one of the reasons why their home form isn't so good. But they were singing in rather taunting mode just a moment ago, "This city is blue just like yours." which I'm not sure went down particularly well with the remaining Manchester United fans.
Unfortunately, United, well, for them, they can't answer back.
They probably don't want to. 83 minutes on the clock. Remember, this is a Brighton side who had not won here in 2022. 31,637 here today, which is pretty much about as many as you can get into the Amex Stadium. And they've witnessed the best performance of the season by Brighton. Here is Dalot down the right side with 7 minutes to go, trying to drag Manchester United into an area where they haven't been very comfortable all afternoon, but hoping to try and reduce the deficit. Fred under pressure, and he's tackled by Basuma illegally, and a free kick is given.
Even there though, Sam, Basuma not giving Fred any chance, any time on the ball at all. We're in the 85th minute now, and you can see they could they have kind of eased off. They're in third gear, maybe even second.
Ball in towards the near post, offside flag was up straight away before Robert Sanchez was clattered.
But he's still not giving them any time at all. That kind of will to win and refusal to concede even one goal. Brighton have had it all game, and I go back to what I was saying earlier and during the game in the first half as well. This is as good as it gets for Brighton fans. It really is. You're going to be mid-table in the Premier League. Just think of where you were just a few years ago. Just think of the history where the highest they've ever finished in the top flight is 13th. You're going to beat that. Premier League records being won with most wins and record points, fewest defeats.
And that's why Brighton fans don't get the ump. That's why they don't get seriously annoyed with Graham Potter. There's a few murmurings here and there, but football fans will say that after a couple of defeats or losses. But they remember the whipping. They remember what it was like to sit there, stand there and watch Brighton in the second and third tier from the edge of a running track.
It's amazing how things change, and as I say, I think this is just a special time in Brighton's history.
Welbeck brings the ball down and shoots from 35 yards, and it's not too far away from making it 5, and David De Gea went sprawling to his right, didn't reach it, and went over the top of the crossbar.
That bet nearly came in, Danny Welbeck. I tell you what, again, just bringing it down, brilliant play. United's defenders just backing off, and from 25 yards out, that looks like it's going on target, and then just curls away, shaves the post.
Oh, right at the last moment as well, to be fair. It just whipped away from the upright. Danny Welbeck is denied yet another goal against his former Chargers. He was born in Longsight in Manchester. He played in a Manchester United team that won the league and was successful. I bet he's looking at them now thinking, is this serious?
He's looking at them now thinking, I could get in this side.
I think you could get in this side.
You could with your bad foot and your scooter up and down the wing.
Brighton have a free kick. They think quickly and take it quickly, and Mopé turns the ball over quickly and sends it wide towards the right hand side, then checks back, gives it to Tarek Lamptey, a chance to cross. 86 minutes gone. The ball is on the right side, across towards Welbeck. Welbeck tried to volley it, didn't quite get it. Cucurella takes over. They're on the edge of the D with Caicedo. A little flick through the legs of Dalot onto Caicedo. Lovely touch from Cucurella. They're showboating now. There's a foul on Caicedo by McTominay, and a free kick is given to Brighton, down by the corner flag away to our left. You know what? They deserve 5.
They do. They really do. Midfield just outplayed and outfought. To be fair to Scott McTominay, I mean, he's been a million miles off the Brighton midfield, but he has tried his best. He's just not been good enough today. It's him and Diogo Dalot who had the rest. Well, I don't know how they're going to go home and sleep tonight. They've been so poor. They really have. You look at Brighton, the way they played, I think 5, maybe even 6 would be about right.
Free kick then to be taken wide on the left-hand side with 2 minutes to play. Gross to take it. Always good for a delivery. Right-footed. Can he swing this under the crossbar? Can Manchester United keep them out, or will Brighton score yet another one? Delivery goes straight into Fred. That was poor. He's got it back again though. and then he's twisted and turned Fred, and then gone down the left-hand side, then come back at him again, then laid off to Cucurella, who's delivered high into the box, but it's over the top of the crossbar. But again, he was taking the mickey there, Pascal Gross, after hitting the ball into the first man. He was showboating and playing and going through his repertoire of tricks to upset Fred even further.
Fans are loving it, absolutely loving what they're seeing, and why not? It's just been superb defensively, midfield, up front. They've been creative, inventive. They perhaps haven't been as clinical as they could have been, actually.
Oh my God. Varane has just tried to play the ball back to Maguire and almost given away a corner under no pressure. Dunk sends it forward in towards the edge of the area. Gross tries to shoot down low to the left, and it's turned around the post by David De Gea, who gets down low and has to parry it round the upright, because it was pretty fierce from Pascal Gross, who went another corner.
They just feel every attack they can possibly score, don't they? They really do. Again, he's able to turn, just take an extra touch. No one's getting too tight. And we're down the other end. The Brighton defenders are getting close and blocking the shots. He was able to get his shot in, and that's a good save from De Gea.
Corner on the far side to be taken by Gross. 4-0 to Brighton in the final seconds of the game. It's aimed towards Webster, who heads it down. The whistle goes. There's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. I don't know if they're going to make him take the corner again. I think they are. Varane is saying that there was no foul. McTominay is being spoken to, and so is Dunk. I think they're going to allow them to take the corner again.
I think he blew the whistle just before it was taken.
Manchester United got to be careful. Everybody is inside the 18-yard box for Manchester United, trying to prevent another goal going in. The delivery is coming from the right side. 3 minutes of added time at the end of the 90 live on TalkSport. Aimed towards Webster at the far post, who heads it back across the face of goal. It goes towards the near post after it hits the head of Veltman, but it's easily caught by David De Gea, and it's cleared away. Brighton 4, Manchester United 0. 3 minutes of added time, and that's enough for Brighton to get a couple more goals, isn't it?
Absolutely. Man United still trying to play out from the back, but again, without the way they're pressing. Brilliant.
Look at the pressing from Brighton, winning the ball high up inside Manchester United territory, even in the 91st minute of the game.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, Sam, when you're playing that well and you're 4-0 up and you're absolutely dominating your opponent, it's amazing how much energy extra you have. And yet when you're being hammered 4-0, you're kind of gone, you're running in treacle, you can't wait for the referee just to blow his whistle. And look, they're trying to play it out from the back, Manchester United, but Brighton have got them on toast today.
Lindelof down the right-hand side, up towards Ronaldo. It's back to McTominay and then all the way to Varane. A limp and lethargic performance by Manchester United. A performance which is rarely seen by a team that over the years have gathered such stature, won so many trophies and lit up the Premier League, dominated it. Here's Ronaldo. He gets the odd kick here and there, hits it against the defender, plays it wide towards the right. Dalot tries to take it down. His shot in towards the near post, and he has been the only Manchester United player really to emerge from this trip to the South Coast with any credit. It's a long way to Manchester from here. You know, you have to go up to the M25, maybe branch off the M40. Even that's a 45-minute, hour-long journey before the 3.5-hour journey back up the motorway network to Manchester begins. It's a long time to think about what's happened here. And there's a long time between now and Manchester United's only remaining game of the season, because this is game 37 for them. Game 38 will be against Crystal Palace and Patrick Vieira. God knows what they're going to do to them.
I bet they wish today was it. Although you can't finish on this. You cannot finish the season on this. And they were very good against Brentford on Monday. I was going to say as good as they were, they're poor here. That's not true. They were good on Monday. They are absolutely shocking here. And you're right, only Diogo Dalot can look at himself in the mirror and say, you at least try to justify, you try to run around, you try to close down, you try to get forward as well. Everybody else never in the game. And we're talking from the first minute as well, Sam.
Well, Manchester United are going to end with their fewest points in Premier League history. Brighton become the latest beneficiaries of Manchester United's travel sickness, winning at home for the first time since Boxing Day, and in some style. Caicedo, Cucurella, Gross and Trossard, the grateful recipients of 4 goals that actually flatter Manchester United, because it should have been much, much more. It's another lethargic Manchester United display. They offered absolutely nothing. They were abject. They were dreadful. They were abysmal. Brighton are on course for something special, though. It wasn't too long ago they were homeless and squatting at a local athletics track. Now they are on course for their best ever league finish. The most points that they've gathered in the Premier League. Their most amount of goals scored. Well done to Graham Potter and to Brighton, who are very much alive. But the Manchester United that we have all known are very much dead. Brighton 4, Manchester United 0.